Well, one of the things that people can do is obviously shake up the shareholders of those big multinational companies. So we're talking about Chevron, Shell, BP, Woodside, and BHP Billiton. These are companies that have presence right around the world. Woodside is an Australian company. The others are from, your part of the world. That BHP, British Petroleum. BHP is an Australian company. But there are other companies that you can go to the stock exchange, go to their board level, send them information, shake up the shareholders, because in many instances they don't want to see violation of human rights. Some of them don't even follow what their companies do. And some of these companies that are the joint venture partners of Woodside have an atrocious human rights record. Let's just use Chevron as an example. We know that in Africa, about 2 or 3 years ago, 400 of our brothers and sisters were killed in an uprising against the mining coming onto their country.
Right.
So these are the companies that are coming in and saying they want to work hand in glove with government and exploit indigenous people's country, exploit their human rights, under the guise of it being beneficial for the whole of our country. And it's not. They take 85% of the profits back out of Australia, and only 25% is left here.
Well, I really...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'll just give you 2 links. There's a link to... I'll just give you one, actually, because it's much more easier. It's called Environs Kimberley. You can do a search on Google.
Say it again. Environs... spell that for us. Spell that for us.
Environs Kimberley is one of the action groups that is getting information out to the world. So ENVIRONS, Kimberley, KIMBERLEY.
Okay, Environs Kimberley, okay.
Do a Google. Yes. And the other one is Save the Kimberley.
Save a Kimberley?
Yes, Save the Kimberley.
Well, we want to thank you for sharing with us and getting us a little understanding of what's happening there. We want to keep our ears and eyes on this and see as we can probably spread some other words to get the word out to make sure we have as much support as possible. And we're going to probably talk more through the week and see how we can get some other listenership, to really know what's going on. Brother Makua Ray, we again want to thank you for making the connection, for bridging it, for making it happen, and we're going to talk more about how we can have a steady communication about the progress or lack thereof of what's happening over there. Perhaps we can use you as a liaison to that as well, Brother Makua Ray.
Absolutely, no, it's my honor. Glad to get this information out, and thank you, Mitch. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and thank you. So, Makua Ray, maybe you can also offer. I want to also congratulate you on launching of your new website. Maybe you can. I'm sure your website will be sharing, or maybe even spreading some word about that too. You want to share what that website is?
Absolutely, it's at www.worldbridgemedia.com or .info, and on the website under the More section, you'll see something called Connect. And I plan to keep updates about what's happening with regard to the Kimberley and the people's struggle down there.
That's www.worldbridgemedia.info or .com, you said, right?
Either one, yeah, .info or .com. And hopefully we'll get you up there. We'll do a podcast, public podcast from this show up there so more people can listen that weren't able to listen tonight.
Yeah.
And use that as some new media outreach just to really get it out there. And I mean, I do want to stress to those who are listening right now that, we as people, we have the responsibility to be the media. This is not an issue where we want to distance ourselves from, because the reality is the Aboriginal people are keeping a balance with what's been happening, and I really have been really receiving the message that this is one of those decisive situations. So that's why I feel a deep spiritual urgency to making sure people are aware of this, so that the government of Australia and this conglomerate of private oil companies are aware that maybe inside Australia they can kind of keep it hush-hush, but they need to be aware that the world is looking at this and recognize it to be a human rights violation. Completely, plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
And we need more and more people to really take up the cause and recognize that, because even as you were saying, it's happening there. We could be next, or we are next. Things are happening concurrently right now all over the planet.
Yeah. Well, I think that's also very right in line with where we are in terms of the alignment. In the end, in the closing of the cycles.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and if people don't really take note of that, then they'll see that they're losing sight of it. The misuse, the overuse of these social mediums for just nonsense, just chatter. Just basically things that have nothing to do with anything, but just because you're bored or because you have to have a computer in front of you. I think there's a lot of times we can use this overwhelming presence, of Big Brother in our houses, in our rooms, in our homes, in our lives, to turn it around and use it, for in fact, social justice media as opposed to just social nonsense, and I think that we can maximize that by cases and courses such as this. I want to thank you again for calling and sharing with us, and we want to keep you close so we can be able to make sure we are on top of it. That is again EnvironKimberley.com, right? Niche?
That's it.
EnvironKimberley.com, and the other one SaveTheKimberley.com.
Yes,
right.
That's correct.
It's environs with an S.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's plural. EnvironKimberley.com and SaveTheKimberley.com, and also www.worldbridgemedia.com.
That's right.
All right, brother and sister,
and
we appreciate that. We're running over. Go ahead, Nitch. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say quickly that those two sites are also on Facebook. So if you Facebook them, search, you'll come up with their pages.
Yeah, we need to go ahead and befriend that cause and get that cause out and get it and blast it, and because again we have to use their own sense of monitoring us, because it is free. Had it not been free, 90% of people wouldn't be on it right now. So obviously it's a monitoring device, it's a tracking device, and if it ain't nothing else, we have to use that against them. We have to counter the counterintelligence, you know what I'm saying? And use it for the basis for us, liberating. This is the way we talk about the revolution being televised in a sense, is to be able to understand that we have access, at our fingertips, connection to people around the globe for mobilization and galvanizing purposes. And I really truly again want to commend what's happening over there in Australia, and it's a sign for our ancestors to know that we are actually going to be in alignment, or we're going to lose all rights to anything, and then we have to see those who are on the case, on the cause, who will be able to reap the benefits of anything that is safeguarded. Again, I want to go. I know we're moving along, but brother Mukua Ray will be in touch. Be coming into the Day at a Time event as well, starting a new moon cycle, 13 moons. We'll be talking again. Talk about the Day at a Time, but coming up next week or 2 weeks out. Okay, I give praise and big thanks to y'all, and thank you for calling.
All right, Brother Juanito.
All right, Hotep. Nitch, I appreciate you, Nitch. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.